back to the College Prospects Podcast. I'm your host, Donald Watts, and we have a great show. Today's show is geared towards the parents, and it's about something I see all too often as they're trying to help their kid navigate through youth and high school basketball to becoming a prospect, that they really kind of have it backwards. And I want to make sure that today that's not you, all right, that you're doing the best that you can from the standpoint of a principle and a philosophy of setting your player up, your aspiring player up to actually be a successful college athlete. And I'll just get right to it. The thing that parents try to do is they try to make it easy for their kids. They try to find the this is going to sound weird, but as we go through it, you'll understand the best situation, the best team, the best this, where they can pack up wins and whatever. But that's not the thing to do. And in this show, we're going to get to why, how, a couple antidotes of situations as a coach that I've seen and what the outcomes have been. All right, but before we get into that, let me remind you, this show is brought to you by Watts Basketball and the Watts Foundation. To get your player involved in our Game Changing for Life program, wattsbasketball.com is the address to go to. The details are in the description. And if you would like to sponsor a player, or hey, maybe even you want to sponsor the show, you can donate your tax-deductible donation to sponsor a player at the wattsfoundation.org. All right, now let's get to the show. So, one of the things that is extremely important that you as a former college basketball player, as a trainer who's coached many people, players, boys and girls, to college basketball, the one thing that I'm constantly telling them is, it's tough. Like, you dream about playing college basketball. You dream about playing on TV. You dream about playing in the NCAA tournament. Like, that's all good. But when you get to college, the physical demands, the emotional demands, the social environment, it can be really tough. And what coaches are looking for, they understand that. They know that there are going to be struggles. They know that there are going to be challenges. And so what coaches are looking for is people who can deal with tough things, tough opponents, can take tough coaching, can deal with a tough schedule, can handle things when things aren't going their way. And how do you help your child develop into that type of person? Well, I'll tell you what you don't do is you don't make everything easy for them. Because if you make everything easy for them, even if they're talented, even if they have the potential, if the first time they get smacked in the face, it's in college, they won't know how to handle that. They won't know how to manage it. So part of your role, part of your job as a parent is to put your child in tough situations and then help them develop the skills to overcome them. Help them to develop the skills to overcome those tough situations. And I'll just, like, one example of, and I'm not saying it's the parent who did this. I don't even think it's the parent who did it at all. I think the child made the choice. There's a kid in our local area, and I've actually seen this multiple times in the last year, where you have a player who is at a school. The school's not necessarily winning, but the player is the central player. He's the one who, if they are going to win, is going to be the one that impacts winning. And they're out there trying to win and scoring 30, 40, even sometimes 50 points, averaging 20 points a game for their respective high schools. But they're not getting the, say, exposure. They're not getting the recognition as a team. They're not getting, to state. They don't have a chance to play for a state championship. They're not all of those things. They don't have cameras that follow their teams around like some of the top teams in the area do. So what do? They leave the situation where they're the primary and it's tough to win, and they transfer to where they could win a state championship, or where they believe they can win a state championship. Well, now you go from, this has happened. You go from a guy who's averaging 20 points in the league, you're transferring to the same league, and barely getting any playing time. Like, how is that helpful? How is that beneficial as it relates to you going to play at the next level? And I can tell you right now, it's not. At your other school, with your numbers, with the going into gyms and, getting beat bad sometimes, but showing up to practice the next day, being a leader, trying to get your team over the hump, you're getting the film, you're getting the conditioning of like striving to be better, striving to make your program better, grinding out victories, and you're getting the work, the opportunity, the best opportunity for yourself to be a college basketball player, because you are in the position to get reps. You are in the position to develop your skills. You are in the position to impact winning. When you transfer, you're going into a situation where they're going to win regardless. They've accumulated the talent to essentially win with or without you. And the coach has a choice of who he wants to play or gonna play or whatever, based on who's come in, and games that he feels like he can win. So it's just a like player's choice. So you now put yourself in a really tough situation as it relates to your goals. Now, I'm saying this on the high school level, but on the youth level, what do? You drive your kids to tryouts. You try to get on the best team that you can get on. But I see so many kids whose growth in the game is stunted by winning when it doesn't relate to them learning how to win. It's simply like collecting the best players, parents, adults, getting the best players all on one squad, so then they can run around and beat up on other squads. That, to me, is, that's, you're conditioning your child when they get in that situation to be the bully, to be the schoolyard bully. Well, I will say this, for my kids, I would rather have them in a situation where I'm teaching them how to deal with the bully than them being the bully. When you grow up in life, remember that schoolyard bully, they were really, they might have grown faster, they might have been bigger. Usually you turn around and you look back and they're not the biggest adult. Usually you turn around and you look back and they haven't developed the skills and the means as that schoolyard bully, so they end up not being very successful in life. So it's a different way to think about the situations that you're putting your child in order to help them develop the toughness, allowing them to be in tough things, allowing them to take tough losses. And as a parent, your responsibility being helping them work through those things, helping them overcome those challenges, helping them become critical, key problem solvers, because that's what high level athletes are. They're not just well trained, highly skilled individuals, they're problem solvers. They're tough minded individuals who have an ability to navigate some tough challenges and problem solve on their own. Of course, with the help of coaches or whatever, but they come with a degree of problem solving and working through tough things. And you can't develop those as a young person if you're not allowed to go through or supported through those tough challenges and things. And I would just say this: we have a culture now where when kids in camp or kids on teams have a altercation or like have a conflict, and I'm not even talking about physical, but just emotional, conflict or whatever. As parents, too often parents will try to jump on an email and solve it for their player instead of sit down with their player and try to help them understand how to solve it. The last thing I'll leave you with is a little something that I say to my kids that you can say to yours if they're serious about being prospects. But when they have challenges and they have struggles, I would say, hey, like, or is that kid, is that coach, do they have the same goals as you? Are they going there with you? And, we're very clear, only 1% are going to play Division I on a college scholarship, full ride scholarship. My kids are in that 1%. I was in that 1%. And so the answer to that is no, they're not. Okay, well, are the challenges that they're putting in front of you or that you have with them bigger than you? Are you not able to overcome those things? Or are they an opportunity to develop the very skills that you need to get yourself to the next level, right? So are they going there with you, right? And is this something that you're not able to overcome? Is this going to be a hurdle that prevents you from achieving your goals? Or is this a hurdle that you're going to get over, that you're going to figure out how to work through, that we're going to figure out how to help you work through so that it becomes an opportunity and a learning opportunity to get you closer to your goals? That's today's show. Let me know what you think. As always, hit that subscribe button. Grab this show if you know somebody who needs to hear this. Share it with them. I'm Donald Watts. This is the College Prospects Podcast. Thank you for your time. Happy hooping. Peace, love, and basketball. I'm out.